It's been a trying week for the stock market and investors, with all major indices posting significant losses. On Friday, the Dow lost 139 points. The Nasdaq ended the day 103 points down, and the S&P 500 down about 28 points. Hope King joins us now. She's a business reporter with Axios. Hope, was the FedEx warning about a recession and the cut in its sales forecast by $500 million what drove the sell-off, or was it more than that?
It was definitely one of the major factors, Catherine, and thank you for having me. You know, this week we had two major surprises to the markets. One was that inflation report. We were not expecting August inflation to rise faster than in July. And then on Thursday late afternoon, we heard the warning from FedEx, which also threw investors for a tailspin. And if we know anything about this market, we are already used to bad news, but when there is more bad news that comes to the downside in the way that it did this week, investors are really scared now that the Fed might take even more drastic action to fight inflation by increasing rates.
Have we seen the kind of capitulation in the markets that signals we've hit the bottom?
I don't think so. I think a lot of investors are still looking for more data, as you can see with the earnings surprise from FedEx, the warning that they won't even talk about how much they might make by the end of this year. I think that is, again, signaling to the markets that there are a lot of things that we still don't know. Now, I will say that a lot of analysts are looking at the FedEx results with a grain of salt, and that is largely because we know that the effects of the pandemic have largely subsided and people are going back out. They're shopping, they're spending on travel. And so in some ways, FedEx ought to have known that their results were going to be a little bit weaker. So the surprise there for investors also comes to them in the form of, skepticism. Why didn't FedEx know that this was going to be as bad as it was? So there's a little bit of that. And the warning that the CEO has issued about a global recession, we are hearing that from even, bodies like the World Bank. We know that inflation is a problem all around the world. Central banks are all taking action right now to fight inflation. So there is a concern that even though it isn't synchronized, the fact that all of these interest rate hikes are happening all at once could cause the brakes to come on a lot faster and stronger than the global economy can handle right now.
It's good context. So what are we expecting at the Fed's meeting Tuesday?
I think this is still going to be par for the course. I think the Fed will still take the same actions that it has been taking all year this year. We've already had 4 interest rate hikes. I think one of the things that, we're hearing some experts say is that when CEOs come out with warnings about recessions, it could be a signal to the Fed to say, listen, what you're doing is working already. Look at the slowdown that we've seen in our business. So maybe you should slow down your interest rate hikes. So I think that's also part of what's happening right now.
What do you think the interest rate cap is? We've had other analysts on who say it's about 6%. Would you agree, or do you think it could be higher?
I would lean toward the experts and look at the probability of the interest rate hikes, but we know that the Fed is really adamant about trying to get that soft landing right now. So we'll have to watch to see what all these bets are coming in at right now.
I was just going to ask you, is a soft landing still possible, or are we really tilting more towards the likelihood of a recession?
Well, I think the most difficult thing to do in this environment is to give any predictions, which is why I'm not giving my own. And I think, as you can see with what FedEx has issued in its warning, that when you do issue a prediction, if you come in way below, it is not good news for you, and you have to really justify what's going on. So I think for the most part, people are trying to be as cautious as possible. Now, I will say that I'm in San Francisco this week at a Goldman Sachs conference. There are a lot of CEOs who feel pretty optimistic about next year, namely Paramount Global CEO. He talked about 2023 being stronger than most people believe. So really, depending on who you ask, optimism is still out there.
We just have a few seconds left. What's your advice to investors on how best to protect their savings and their assets right now?
If I were in my last job in finance, I'd give that advice. But at this point, I wouldn't. I would just say, keep up on the news and keep your eyes open and read between the lines.
Stay informed. Hope King, thank you.
Thank you so much.